Oh my god, this is so cool. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay. Well, again, different color hair. Well, hi everybody. I'm just going to wait a few seconds. Can you guys hear me? Sorry. This is very new for me, so please. Okay, there we go. The lights. There. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are may be. I just had my hair color changed again, you guys. Very excited to do my first, it's my first YouTube live actually, which is quite cool. I'm very excited for it. And what I actually wanted to talk about today was, why do people do that? Why do we always look at ourselves and like fix our hair and stuff? So I'm just gonna wait a few seconds, see if anybody does get on. If not, I'm just gonna go ahead. So let me just tell you who I am, and we'll take it from there. So my name is Rana. I'm not only a singer for the past 22 years and producing music, but I'm also a life coach. I've been a healer of multiple disciplines, such as like Reiki, Theta healing, pranic healing, sound bowl healing, because you know the sound in the music, so everything to do with frequency, and I do channeling. So when you channel, you sort of like, I can't even explain it, but it's like you sort of go into somebody else's body. Oh, what's missing? And you can channel what kind of energy they are carrying that is not theirs, and you release it. So I have been in the music business for 22 years, and throughout it all, this is what started. What I was going to talk to you about was my addiction and how I got through it, never as a victim, always as a warrior, and always as a survivor. Already very young age, I used to feel energies and see things that were out of the norm, okay? Things that I used to keep for myself, because I would think if I was to tell somebody what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling or who I'm speaking to, then they probably would take me to, say that, I need to go see some kind of like, psychiatrist, or put me in the ward or something. But really, as a child, I had this gift, and this is what I take it as, a gift of sensing or feeling or being around or being capable of communicating with other realms or other, I'm not going to say people, I don't know what to call them, with all due respect to them. But when I say very young, I'm talking like 3 years old, right? And I couldn't go up to my parents and be like, oh, I was standing there and there was a shadow up in my room, and this person looked, and I was, like, what? They're going to be like, what is wrong with you? So this stayed for me for a long, long time. So not knowing what to do, I always was attracted and resonated with music and singing and frequencies, like even sound. When people would talk to me, some sounds triggered me, and I would become very defensive and angry. God, I look like I put my makeup wrong. I look like what's that called? Anyway, it doesn't matter. What's important is what I'm saying. So things would trigger me from a certain sound, or things would trigger me from a certain frequency that I would hear, whether it being on the radio, whether it being on TV. And so I knew that I had something to do that connected me directly with frequency, with sound, with vibration. So obviously, as a kid, what do? I mean, I don't know. You can't go up to your parents and be like, oh, I heard this, and or I was told this, or I'm hearing, and they're not voices in my head, believe me. It's like a whisper in my ear, which I didn't know what it was or how to explain it. I mean, as a child, you're not told that there are other realms or other um, levels to who to where we're at, that we're not the only beings on this earth. Maybe we can see them, they can see us, but we can't see them. And all due respect to them, because it's been such a beautiful experience, still is. What I remember from it, I still do. Now it's become more powerful because I've embraced it. And I never really got scared from it. It wasn't something that scared me. It was more something that gave me curiosity. I wanted to know what it was. Like, what is it? Is it just me? Am I the only one with this gift? Did God just create me with this gift? Am I the only one that sees and hears and all of that? And so that led to starting to make music. Even as young, like just singing. Like mom would lose me somewhere, and I would start singing and stuff, and gather people, and it's just songs that whether I knew or didn't know that would come out of me. And then growing up, eventually, everywhere that we went that had a microphone, I'd absolutely have to have the microphone. And those of you that know me know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's how it all started, really. And curiosity, I was like, well, why? When I'd look around, and I grew older, before I started actually engaging in making music, I would MC here and there, if I went to a club and a DJ would be playing and I'd be up in his face. I was the one that was, always kicked out of the clubs because I was such a nag and in everybody's face. Like, give me the mic, I'll make people dance. And, they'd be like, just get out of here. And I'd be like, listen, you're playing good, but you're not playing. You have to make people dance. You have to make people feel. And I never quite understood why I fought so much, and I got scared. Believe me, I think I'm the only, like, if we were to make a survey of 100 people, I've probably come out as the first one that had been kicked out of that many clubs all around the world. And I have a lot of people that will be like, she's right, because they were there. But I believed in something so strongly that I couldn't let, I was like, listen, I'm going to get to the bottom of this because, sorry, my hair's drying and I'm just like, I have to get to the bottom of this and just truly understand what it is. So by the time I finished school and went to university, you see people doing things and taking things, and I thought, okay, well, that person was just one acting a certain way. Why have they changed? Like, why has their attitude changed? Why are they all of a sudden dancing like, off the roof? Like, literally, what is up with them? They must have taken something. So of course at university, as most of you know and have, I started thinking to myself, okay, well, if I'm going to understand this energetic thing that's happening to me, then I'm going to dip into things that are going to make my mind open up more to see or feel or understand, because there was absolutely nobody that I could go to or talk to about this. And I've even started writing a book about it because I thought, I don't want people thinking I'm crazy. I mean, you can think whatever you want of me. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts, but I wanted to understand why am I feeling and seeing and hearing certain things and others not, and why I'm not capable of talking to anyone about it, because when I did, or when I try, people will just look at me weird. So I thought, you know what? Maybe if I got on their level of taking something, then maybe I could understand myself more to be able to let them. So I started dipping into substances. And it started out as an experiment. It really did. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, we'll go clubbing. You'll be like, oh, take this, take this pill, take this, that. This is gonna make it. And I was like, I don't want you to tell me what I'm gonna feel. I want to find out for myself. So I started doing that, and it really was just an experiment at first, just goes to show. And I know myself, like when I want to do something, I'll do it, but when I want to stop it, I will stop it. But my problem is that I can't do anything halfway. I either do it or I don't do it at all. I mean, I do it properly or I don't. So I won't for, pills or whatever. I don't want to say the name of it, but they get you clubbing and dancing, and you guys know what I'm talking about. People usually take one. I would take like 5, right? People stay up for one night. I'll stay up for 3. That's what I mean. So it got to a point where okay, so I've done enough of this, and I've gotten to a point where I got with it to such a level of understanding music that oh my God, when I was dancing all the time, or even I'm deaf in one ear practically, I was like, oh my God, okay, so I get this vibration. I get that this frequency plus this makes your mind do that, right? Next. So to be honest with you guys, I tried everything except for one thing. And I will have to say, I don't want to say the name. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed, but the reason most people die of it anyway. The reason I didn't take that, and people usually use it with a syringe, but anyway, the reason why I didn't do it is because I knew, God, look at me, I'm like, so I knew that if I did, it would kill me, because I would take so much of it that I would want train spotting. If anybody's been train spotting, then you know what I'm talking about. I just don't want to say out names, and I don't know what I'm allowed and not allowed to say. So that was the only one thing that I had gel was on there. I'm so proud of you too, sweetheart. My cousin Emma, she's been through a lot with me and got me through a lot. So I want to thank you for that. She was there at my worst, actually. Well, in the ends of my worst. But anyway, so those of you who have seen train spotting, that's the one thing in my life that I did not take. And the reason for that is because I knew that if I took it, it would kill me, because I don't have a middle ground for anything. I just go at it until to see how far I can go. Now, I did everything. When I say everything, I mean everything that you can possibly imagine in my time. So I'm saying the 90s, early 90s, up till the 2000s, everything that I knew I could control, that wasn't something that would control my body, but it was a mind control thing. So it wouldn't physically affect my body. For example, alcoholism, unfortunately, and a lot of you have been through it, know it, or have somebody that's done it, is something that overtakes your body, so that when you don't drink, you have all this, sweats and stuff. Other substances, no. Well, the ones that I took, I mean, at least, I'd get to a stage where I'm like, okay, I can't do enough of this. I've had enough of this. But still, I didn't get any answers, and I got into music, and I started doing music while being on all this stuff, and I still couldn't get any answers. It's no, but I need more of everything. I need more to understand more of this, understand more of that. So we're talking now, I was married, divorced, and this all happened. I was married 92, and I got divorced at 97. And in between, I was doing stuff, but I didn't quite understand. Then it was only for fun. It wasn't it was okay, the others are doing, might as well. But right after 97, that's when it hit me. So I was 27 years old, and I thought, okay, that tells you my age. Gotta kill you after that. After 27 years old, I was like, right now I need to experiment and see how far this will take me. 15 years down the line, you guys, I was still like just knocking it, and especially one thing. And it starts with a C and ends with a E. And it has different names. Anyway, and it's if you guys have seen Blow or seen you know, most of those movies, then you know what I'm talking about. So, well, I just said it out loud. I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying it. That was my go-to, and I would do so much of it, and it was not even funny. It started out being like, oh yeah, but here, but there, but that was my biggest confrontation and what the devil that I was playing with. Literally, I thought I could beat it. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats being clear. But am I ashamed? No. Do I regret? Absolutely not. Would I do it again? Then, yeah. Because I wouldn't be who I am today. And then again, I was, in my mind, yeah, this is an experiment. So at first it was like cool and fun, and I would meet people and I would never do it outside because I thought it was so dirty. It was always at home. And I would see how people's reaction were, and I always sat and did music with it. So first year, second year, and people would come to me like kids and stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I can help them. I know it all. They used to call me the godmother. That's how much it got to, you guys. It got out of control, literally. But where I knew that I would stop it, and I could, was that because I was divorced and I had a daughter, every time I would have to see my daughter, obviously, I would be sober. But every time I didn't, I wouldn't. So it was like I could play around with when I had to and when I didn't. So I knew that, oh, okay, I'm in control of this. And I would make music, and I would make my sit there and vibrate. And honestly, I get why now, all in the 70s or whatever, they did such great music, because honestly, I mean, to be honest, when you're on that level of your mind, the stuff that comes out of you is unreal. And that is because, and anybody who says differently is a liar. I've been in the music business for 22 years. I have seen people in music. I haven't seen one sober person in my life that does music and art. You're right. And I mean, all artists, any kind of art, they've all have some kind of issue with it being a drug problem, with it being an alcohol problem, with it being any kind of problem. But I am a person, as I said, in everything that I do in life, I just can't, I take it to just a whole other level. So I went on doing my things, but I started seeing less people then. And I just started going into my music and into my world. And it was like, at one point, and I swear to God, you guys, you're not going to believe this, I was like, Einstein could have been my student. Like, that's how, I say to myself to these days, like, if I were to have sat there and written down everything that at the time I was coming up with, my God, and wrote about it today, wow. Like, I don't even know where that would have gotten me, but when you're on that level, you don't even think about that. But that's how far I got. I got to such a level that, I mean, I can't even begin to describe where I was or who I was, or it wasn't like anything I've ever or have ever experienced. I started painting on the walls to understand things. I started battling dark forces, and that was because I started battling. Write about it, yeah. I am. I'm going to write about it because that's the only way they can fully express it, and and define it because it was unreal. It's painting on the walls gave me the story and the secret of the room I was in. It's really weird. I can't even describe it because what I painted on the walls, see, paint changes into energy because it's energy. So I would sit in my studio or even my home when I was making music or whatever, and or playing my music, and I'd start painting on the walls. And when I say painting, it's like for those of us done acid, right? When you walk into a room and you know how your brain functions and everything's breathing and you see everything as molecules, that's what it looked like. Nobody could come into my studio without me. Believe me, it was dark. I was fighting dark forces. Nobody could come into the studio or out unless I was there. It was like there was something that was holding on to me, and it wasn't necessarily scaring me. It just wanted me not to leave there. So it wanted to own me. And I've seen it. I've seen who it is. I'm not asking for anybody to believe it. I'm telling you my story. And by the way, this is the first time that I've decided to do it live and honestly and without shame, because there's nothing to be shameful of. In fact, it's this first time I hear myself say it out loud. So that's why I'm not gonna give it all to you in one go. I'm gonna say a little bit more, and then I'm gonna continue it next week, same time, for those who are truly interested in knowing my story. And Amal Hayati, I love you. And we will go out this Thursday, I promise you. Wallah, I promise you, my love. I keep promising her. You see, this is something, but really, I don't know about you guys, but I have been going through exhaustion after being so sick. But anyway, back to where I was. I was going through things. If I was to say it, it was like a game. Okay, I was playing a game with a darker energy, and it consisted a lot of numbers, funnily enough. I'm not going to explain it to you this time. I'll explain it to you next time what I mean. But it was all to do with numbers, and it was to do with how things, and I think this is why I became a life coach, because it taught me a lot about seeing the world from a different lens. And I'll get to that. It's a long story, and I don't even know where to begin and where to start, you guys. So I just thought I'll start from the beginning, and you guys put it all together. So I ended up, and I almost got killed. I ended up in an apartment in Lebanon. That's where it started off, before going into my house, actually doing music and stuff. And that's where it all started. It all started in Lebanon, in a place called White Diamond, where the second I walked in, I went into Lebanon for a week. I stayed for 12 years. I knew there was something in that whole building that I needed to discover the secret of. And that's where my adventure started. And that's where I'm going to end the story. And believe me, the stuff that happened in there, I don't think I've ever told truly anyone. Bits and bobs maybe, but I will tell the story starting. I've told you a little bit, but if you tune in next Saturday, or Saturday at 3, I'm going to start telling you what happened in White Diamond. Amal, I love you so much. You've always been there for me. For those who are interested in knowing more of the story, because it gets better and juicier, and yeah, a lot of you are going to be like, yeah, right, she's making it up. Believe me, everything I'm going to say, may God be my witness, is the God to honest truth, and I will not exaggerate a thing. So I will see you guys next Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Jordanian time to continue the story and to tell you about the shit that, oh my god, I don't know if I'm about to say that, that went down in White Diamond in Lebanon. It's cool, it's freaky, and it's real. Talk about paranormal. Wow, I'm ready to share my story with you guys, so I hope I will see you there. Emma, I love you so much, my love. I'm gonna call you tomorrow because I have a client coming now. But with that, I say, give yourself a hug. Love yourself. We are all worthy. I can't wait to tell you the rest. Be there next Saturday. I know you will because you're always there for me. And I will let you know what's happened. Tell somebody you love them. Pick up the phone. Make amends. Give somebody a compliment. Namaste. Spread the energy. And I will see you next Saturday for more of this juicy gossip. And I don't even know how to stop this.